Good morning, class 12th Commerce. This is your subject Economics, Chapter 6, New Economic Policy, Lecture number 4. In this lecture, we shall discuss about privatization, its gains and losses with the Navratnas, Maharatnas and Mini Ratnas. Fine. Okay, so let's begin with our topic privatization. Fine. So its meaning. Privatization is the process of transferring ownership of a business, enterprise, agency, public service or public property from public sector to the private sector. The business that operates for a profit or non-profit organization. So, it means that privatization is the process of involving the private sector in the ownership or operation of a state-owned enterprise. State-owned enterprise means government enterprise. It also implies gradual withdrawal of government ownership from public sector enterprises. That means the holding of government is declining. The stake of government in a particular enterprise is declining. Slowly, government is selling its shares, its stakes to the private entrepreneurs. Fine. Privatization means allowing the private sector to set up more and more of industries that were previously reserved for the public sector. Change in the ownership, degree of privatization judged by the extent of ownership transferred from public to private sector. It means that if more than 50% of shares, 50% of ownership rights are transferred to the private entrepreneurs in any of the government firm, then private entrepreneurs get the majority of the stakes, get the majority of the shares, and they became the ultimate owner of that firm. So anybody who holds majority of the shares, that means more than 50%, if the shares are held by any of the party, then that firm is owned by that party, or that party has the ownership right, management right. Similar case is here. In any public firm, in any public sector firm, if the government sells more than 50% of the share to the private sector, then that firm becomes privatized. Fine. So it may happen in two ways. Direct sale of the government enterprise to the private entrepreneurs, number one. Number two can be withdrawal of government ownership and management from mixed enterprises. Mixed enterprises means the enterprises jointly owned by private and government. Now, let's look into the history of privatization. See, the word privatization, it is, sorry, by mistake it is written world, actually it is word. I am sorry for that. The word privatization appeared indirectly in 1983 and defines narrowly as to make private, especially to change from public to private control or ownership. This we have done in the definition. Then privatization is the act of reducing role of government. Now, what are the objectives of privatization? Why privatization need to be introduced in the country? Why in the economic reforms 1991 there was a component privatization? So what are the objectives of privatization? Look here. To improve the performance of CPSUs. PSUs stands for public sector undertakings. Now C stands for central. So it is central public sector undertakings. So as to lessen the financial burden on taxpayers. Fine. So that, see, listen. You very well know that public sector enterprises are efficient as compared to private sector enterprises. Fine. So, to reduce the financial burden, to reduce the amount of losses, government decided to hand over all its firm to the private sector. So this is one of the objective, to reduce the financial burden. ठीक है? Then increasing the size and dynamism of the private sector. This is one of the objective. Fine. Then now see, if what happens if the size and the dynamism of private sector increases? More production, GDP increases. Fine. Competitiveness also increases. Right or wrong? This we have also done in the previous lectures. See, then generating revenues for the state. Definitely private sector will pay the taxes. If there is more revenue, more production, definitely it will pay more taxes to the government. Reducing the administrative burden on the state. If the enterprises are owned by the government, then the government has to make the rules, government has to decide the price, government need to file the memorandum of association, article of association, memorandum of undertakings, all these formalities. Government enterprises will do the such administrative work. Then when will it focus on the key areas? When it will focus on the country as a whole? It will be very difficult. So government decided to reduce its administrative work and it handed over its industries to the private sector. So these are the objectives of privatization. Now the benefits. कि प्राइवेटाइजेशन जब आया कंट्री में तो कंट्री को क्या क्या बेनिफिट हुए? दिस इज दैट. सी, there was a great increase in the number of bank branches after privatization from 8,262 to 45,898. Are you just getting the increase rate? Fine, it is 5 times or more than the 5 times. 5 times the branches of banks increased. Then branches in rural or semi-urban sector increases from 2% to 40% after privatization, a 20% increase. And credit was increased from 162 crores to 4,46,496 crores. Now, arguments in favor of privatization. Okay, why do we need privatization? What are the plus points of introducing privatization in the country? Increases the efficiency. See, हम लोग अगर जॉब की बात करें, ठीक है, हम लोग हमेशा चाहेंगे कि we get a job in government sector. We'll have a secured job. Will have a life lasting benefit. It's okay, that's fine, that's agree. But just if you go in a government sector or you go in a private sector, ठीक है, in private sector there will be workload. It's True, it's fine. But what do you think? Where your personality will be more, groom up? Where? It will be in private sector. If you want to develop your personality, private, you will definitely go for the private sector. If you want to be efficient, you will go for the private sector. आप जब टेक दिस एग्जाम्पल, आप बैंक में जाइए, एक प्राइवेट बैंक है, गवर्नमेंट बैंक है, यू विल क्लियरली realize the difference between a private bank and government bank. You can clearly see why do we need privatization. I need not to explain any of the point. Just go to the banks after this lockdown. Once visit in private bank, once visit in government bank, you will easily realize what happens, what actually privatization means. Why do we need privatization? If you will visit this any of the government administrative department, you will clearly realize that there is like our administrative system is just gone. It's like not of any use, because so much of bureaucracy, so much of corruption, no rules, less efficiency. It's like pathetic. So privatization increases efficiency, helps the government to mop up funds. Helps the government to mop up funds. That means to raise more funds. Specialization in private sector, well trained and specialized people works. Help the government to concentrate on the essential state functions, key areas, on the more important areas like policy making for the country. It increases the capital, better management of the enterprises, encourage entrepreneurship, accountability. Private sector are always answerable to the government. Better performance. Private sector ensures better performance. Now see this third last point, encourage entrepreneurship. So what? How is it benefiting the country? Encouraging the entrepreneurship. See how. In our country, jobs are less and job seekers are more. So if you become an entrepreneur, you need not to seek the job. You will create your own job. Are you getting my point? So these are the arguments in favor of privatization. Now what are the disadvantages? Every coin has two sides. अगर प्लस होंगे तो नेगेटिव्स भी होंगे, एडवांटेजेस हैं, डिसएडवांटेजेस भी होंगे. सी, lack of social welfare, this to we very well know that private sector ignore social welfare, but actually this point is not 100% applicable. 70% it is applicable, or I should say 60% it is applicable, because nowadays private firms are also serving the society. They are also following their corporate ethics. They are also fulfilling their social responsibility. So we cannot say they exploit the society. But yes, they 70% or 60%, serve the luxuries to the rich strata. Fine. Class struggle, this is what the gap between rich and poor gets widened because of the private sector. Increase in inequality, same point. Increase in unemployment, yes, true. Why? Because private sector usually focused on machine made goods. They usually brings new technology, and because of that majority of the population remains unemployed. One more reason you can add here, that they employ specialized people. Exploitation of weaker section, that means poor section. Clear? Okay. Some more negative point of privatization: social welfare is neglected. Natural monopoly, because if everything will be privatized, fine, it's a natural monopoly. Natural monopoly means private sector has not created the monopoly. Government has allowed the private sector to create the monopoly. So this is what? Natural monopoly. Lopsided means होता है one sided growth. So there will be one-sided economic growth. Fine. That means this economic growth is not taking into consideration all the aspects. GDP growth is there, but with the unemployment, with the poverty, with the inequality, with the ignorance of the poor sector. So this is one-sided growth. Lack of transparency. Usually private sector hides their exact profit. They never show their internal trading. So there is lack of transparency. Corruption and illegitimate practices. That means they are sometimes private sectors are indulged in malpractices. They are indulged in many like forgery cases. A best example you can see this Kingfisher scam, विजय माल्या स्कैम, किंगफिशर स्कैम. सो प्राइवेट एंटरप्रेन्योर्स थे ये, लेकिन इन्होंने क्या किया था, अपनी एंटरप्राइजेस में इन्होंने अपने प्रॉफिट्स को बढ़ा चढ़ा के दिखाया, बहुत कुछ चीज़ें, क्रेडिटर्स अपने कम दिखाए. सो दीज वर दी मल प्रैक्टिसेस विच वर गोइंग इनसाइड द फर्म. वाइड स्प्रेड अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, बिकॉज देखो क्या होता है, ये लोग एम्प्लॉय करते हैं स्पेशलाइज्ड एंड वेल ट्रेंड पीपल को. आईआईएम से एम्प्लॉय किया इन्होंने, किया जो लोगों के पास आईटी इंफॉर्मेशंस हैं, आईटी नॉलेज है, उनको एम्प्लॉय किया, एमबीएस को एम्प्लॉय किया. डू यू थिंक 10th पास और 12th पास पीपल विल बी एबल टू सर्वाइव इन दी प्राइवेट सेक्टर फॉर अ लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम? नो. And inflated prices, usually private firms keep the prices high. Clear? Now what is the role of government in privatization? Government act as a referee, protecting both the consumers and the investors. Government protect the consumers from unwarranted prices, or you can say unwanted prices. So private sector cannot keep as much price as it wants. If there is a pen, so private sector cannot keep, if the price is rupees 5, private sector can keep the price 6 or 7, but it cannot keep price 50. Clear? So government act as a referee between consumers and investor. It protects the interest. Now see, difference between privatization and nationalization. Privatization में मतलब क्या हो गया कि firms are owned and managed and controlled by the private sector. Nationalization, that firms are owned, managed, governed, controlled by the government. So ownership, firms are owned by the private sector, firms are owned by the and managed by the government sector. Incentives, profit motive act as an incentive for the owners and the managers, whereas in nationalization workers may feel motivated if they feel company belongs to them. Suppose I don't need any profit, I don't need any bonus, I am just feeling like this company is mine, I am an employee, I feel that this company is mine, I have to work day and night to make it a success. So that is the major incentive in the government firms or nationalized firm. Then externalities, private firm may ignore external costs like pollution and external benefits. Government can put social benefits above profit motive. Incentive to induce new technology and increase labor productivity. Nationalized firms may find it hard to sack surplus workers. Knowledge, private firm employees, they have best skills, more knowledge, whereas in nationalized firm there is more interference of the political parties, politicians. Natural monopolies, private monopolies में for example water, trains may charge high prices. These are not talking about the Indian railways, we are talking about here the railways which run in the capitalistic economy, trains which runs in capitalistic economy. Then in natural monopolies, nationalized firm, government can set prices based on the social factors. Then depends on industry. Worked well for BT and BA, natural monopolies like trains or water, non-profit services like healthcare. You need not to learn this last point, just remember all the above points, basic difference between privatization and nationalization. Now see, another topic is here, public sector undertakings. Categories of public sector undertakings. 3 categories: Maharatnas, Navratnas and Mini Ratnas. Now see, Navratnas company. Navratnas company means big 9 firms, public sector firms. You have those who will pursue CA after their 12th standard, they might have heard the top 4 companies, big 4 of India. Big 4, they might have heard this word, big 4 of India. So those are big 4 private companies. These are big 9 Navratnas, 9 firms, Indian government firms, PSUs. Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited, Bharat Electronics Limited, Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited, Mahanagar Telephone Nigam Limited, National Aluminium Company Limited, National Mineral Development Corporation Limited. Fine, so these are 8 in number, right? And here see, Navratnas का मतलब सिर्फ ये नहीं होता है कि इसमें 9 ही firms होंगी, but it means that 9 such profit making companies. Earlier these were 9 industries. Now with the passage of time the number has increased. Fine, number has increased. अब आप major example ले सकते हो. ये these are the 15 examples of major example of Navratnas. Bharat Electronics Limited, Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited, Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, Coal India, then GAIL, Hindustan Aeronautics, Hindustan Petroleum, Mahanagar Telephone Nigam Limited, National Aluminium Company Limited, NMDC, Oil India Limited, Power Finance Corporation, Power Grid Corporation of India, then Rural Electrification Corporation Limited, Shipping Corporation of India Limited. So earlier when the Navratnas were set up, they were set up with the 9 firms only, 9 profit making firms. But with the passage of time, as countries started developing, many new firms were added in the Navratnas and they formed the bunch of many firms. Fine. Now see, Mini Ratna. CPSE stands for Central Public Sector Enterprises. So Mini Ratnas: Airports Authority of India, Entrix Corporation Limited, Balmer Lavery and Company Limited, Bharat Coking Coal Limited, Bharat Dynamics Limited, BEML Limited, Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited, Bridge and Roof Company India Limited, Central Warehousing Corporation, Central Coalfields Limited, Chennai Petroleum Corporation Limited, Cochin Shipyard Limited. And I tell you, there may be less firms in your book Mini Ratnas. I don't think so that Mini Ratnas firm are mentioned in your book. Just it is mentioned that Mini Ratnas has been created to encourage PSUs to improve efficiency and profitability. So far 75 PSUs have been awarded Mini Ratna status. So name of Mini Ratnas is not given in your book, in your TR Gen, neither it is given in your NCERT. You need not to learn all these Mini Ratnas, Navratnas or Maharatnas, but you have to learn 2 or 3 companies so that if it is asked in 1 mark question, you can easily answer that. Fine, are you clear with this thing? So we did Navratnas, Mini Ratnas, now Maharatnas. So as per 26th October 2014 report, these are Maharatnas. CP, SE stands for Central Public Sector Enterprises. Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited, Coal India Limited, GAIL India Limited, Indian Oil Corporation Limited, NTPC Limited, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited, Steel Authority of India Limited. So in 2009 government started according Maharatna status. Fine. The PSUs have earned this status, and these are the some of industries, these are some of the firms which have earned the status of Maharatnas. Clear? So Navratnas have often been quoted by the government as the epicenter of growth in the Indian economy, and it is not denying the fact that these enterprises brought about a exemplary shift in the concept of industrialization in the economy. Clear? Are you clear with the Navratnas, Maharatnas and Miniratnas? Now this is your homework. You have to answer this question. I'll discuss on Monday answer of this question. You will write this answer in your notebook and you will mail me tomorrow. Can a government owned business be transferred to the private sector? The one who has read the complete slides, only that student will be able to answer the question, who has read the slide and who has read the privatization from the book as well. So again I am repeating the question: can a government owned business be transferred to the private sector or not? And read the book as well.